Are you ready to go back to Titanic?
So, you spend 3 hours watching this character, Rose, become her own person.
Don't presume to tell me what I will and will not do. You don't know me.
Seemed like, kind of an indoor girl.
You're on board with her the whole time, breaking away from her mom, her fake upper-class life.
I know what you must be thinking. Poor little rich girl. What does she know about misery?
And Cal, who honestly might be one of the most punchable characters in film history.
Please, I have a child! I'm all she has in the world.
But then, right when you think she's found peace, when she's survived the trauma, lived an entire life on her own terms,
and it looks the same as it did the last time I saw it. The reflection has changed a bit.
she throws a diamond the size of a fist into the ocean, quietly, alone.
It was worn by Louis XVI, and they called it Le Coeur de la Mer.
And it's treated like this powerful moment. But when you look at it from any grounded, real-world angle, it's insane.
Today it would be worth more than the Hope Diamond.
I couldn't help but think maybe Bill Burr was right.
My God, that was so romantic, don't you think? No! No, I don't. It was a horror film.
Let's rewind. From the moment we meet young Rose, she's miserable. She's surrounded by people, money, status, but she's not living.
The difference between Cal's taste in art and mine is that I have some.
The film sets that up perfectly. She's dressed up, paraded around like a trophy. Her mother's tightening her corset, literally and figuratively, telling her how much pressure is riding on her to marry Cal so they can keep pretending they belong in high society.
We'll both have the lamb, rare with very little mint sauce.
You gonna cut her meat for her too there, Cal?
And Rose is playing the part, but you can tell she's done.
All of Philadelphia society will be there. And all the while I feel I'm standing in the middle of a crowded room screaming at the top of my lungs and no one even looks up.
Her first real choice in the movie is her plan to end things for good. Not quietly, not dramatically, just done.
Stay back!
That gives you an idea of just the kind of mental space she's in. But then Jack shows up, and I don't mean in some he saved her life kind of way. What he really does is disrupt the narrative.
You don't know me and I don't know you and we are not having this conversation at all.
Do you love the guy or not?
He's from nothing, he doesn't belong there, and he doesn't pretend to. But he sees her, not just as beautiful or interesting, but as someone trapped. And that's what Rose responds to.
Why can't I be like you, Jack?
Not the flattery, but the fact that he notices she's drowning. And she knows that too. That's why she keeps going back to him.
You are so annoying!
Haha. Get some leverage to it and use your arms.
You watch her change in real time. The way she holds herself at dinner after being with Jack feels totally different. She stops mimicking people. She's looser, louder, and a little dangerous.
You will honor me the way a wife is required to honor a husband.
She drinks beer, she spits, she watches people dance below deck and looks genuinely happy for the first time in the entire movie. She stops trying to act like someone who belongs and starts acting like someone who's just alive.
You look nice.
And that's the real turning point. Not when they hook up in the cabin, not when the ship hits the iceberg. It's when she tells Jack she's staying with him, that she's not going back to her old life.
When this ship docks, I'm getting off with you.
My heart was pounding the whole time.
And that's where the diamond thing hits a soft spot, because Titanic puts in real work building up who she is.
I'd rather be his more than your wife.
This isn't a one-note love story. Rose isn't naive, she's observant. She knows how money works. She knows how people like Cal operate.
Not now, we are busy.
Men who treat women like property and poor people like a backdrop, and she rejects all of it.
It is a fine match with Hockley. It will ensure our survival.
Why are you being so selfish?
I'm being selfish.
She literally spits in Cal's face. She chooses Jack over her own safety. Even in the middle of all the chaos, she runs back into the ship to save him.
How did you find out I didn't do it?
I didn't. I just realized I already knew.
She chooses to not get on the lifeboat. That's how deep she's in it. So the idea that she carries the heart of the ocean with her for 84 years and then just tosses it, it doesn't feel like closure, it feels like erasure.
1,500 people went into the sea. There were 20 boats floating nearby, and only one came back.
And you can argue it's symbolic, that she's letting go of the last tie to that old life. But let's be real, she already did that. She changed her name to Rose Rose Dawson the second she got off the ship. She built a life. She made it.
It's been 84 years. Oh, have you met my granddaughter, Lizzie?
That moment already happened. The diamond wasn't something she needed to move on from. It was leverage, a tool, and instead of using it, she hoarded it.
It was a dreadful heavy thing. I only wore it this once.
And this wasn't some trinket. The movie makes a big deal about how valuable it is.
It's overwhelming.
That's for royalty.
The present-day crew is hunting for it because it's supposedly worth more than the Hope Diamond. That's generational wealth. That's charity money. That's debt forgiveness. That's a college education for her entire bloodline. But she keeps it to herself.
She was wearing the diamond the day the Titanic sank.
And it's not like she just forgot about it. She brings it with her to the shipwreck site. She knows what she's doing. She waits until nobody's watching, walks out to the edge of the boat, and lets it drop. Why? Because Jack died there? Because she wants to make it poetic? Maybe. But Jack's whole message to her was the opposite.
You must promise me that you'll survive. You won't give up.
He told her to live, to survive, to go on and make something of herself. And she did. But using that diamond to help other people would have honored him way more than tossing it into the sea like a final dramatic flourish. Let's talk about the guy she married. The film barely mentions him, just a name and a few blurry photos. And that's intentional. We're meant to believe Jack was the one, but if that's true, it paints her whole life as a lie.
And I've never spoken of him until now. Not to anyone, not even your grandfather. A woman's heart is a deep ocean of secrets.
The husband, her kids, her grandkids, none of them knew about Jack. None of them knew about the Titanic. She kept it all secret. Not just the pain, but the entire foundation of who she became. The movie doesn't question that. It treats her silence as noble.
I don't even have a picture of him.
But imagine being her kid and finding out that she survived the Titanic, fell in love with a guy who died in her arms, and carried a priceless diamond in her purse for 80 years and never told anyone. That's not just private, it's almost selfish. Now, maybe it wasn't about the money. Maybe she couldn't bear to see it auctioned off and turned into a spectacle. Maybe the diamond was Jack to her, a piece of him, and letting it go was her way of finally saying goodbye. Okay, sure, that works on paper, but it still doesn't explain why she kept it for so long. Why she let nobody in, not even her family. She had decades to decide what to do with it, and she chose to do nothing. And that brings us to what the movie's actually about. It's not just about a ship sinking. It's about people stuck in roles they didn't choose. About class, power, survival. About people realizing that the system doesn't care if you're smart or kind or in love. It cares if you're rich. And Rose sees that. She's lived it. But by the end, she repeats the same thing she once rejected. She keeps the wealth hidden, lets it rot in private, and dies with the secret. She could have made it mean something. She could have used the diamonds to help the families in the wreck, to start something in Jack's name, to send a message that the story mattered, that Jack mattered.
And that he saved me in every way that a person can be saved.
And yeah, the final scene is emotional. It's well shot, she dreams of reuniting with Jack, and it hits the right notes. But it also raises a question. Was she ever really present, or did she just live in the shadow of a weekend that ended in tragedy? This is an ending that reframes everything. It doesn't ruin the film, but it does complicate her arc. You want to believe she grew, that she carried Jack with her in spirit, not just memory, that she honored his life by living hers fully. Titanic isn't about perfect closure. It's about loss, about how some things stay with you forever even when you pretend to move on. Rose reinvented herself, yeah, but she also locked away the one thing that could have brought her story full circle. So when that diamond sinks, it's not just a goodbye to Jack. It's a reminder that some people never stop protecting the version of themselves they wish they'd said goodbye to.